Kampo Jamaica, Sunny Nimbo Dripa Namparsa, Namge Nimbo Pacho Kuntusa, Rupa Pache Bekra Lushindam, Nabu Dawa Rajri Nimai, Shaksen Neknan Tashi Pantisho, Chanchu Samba Gela Shaksalo, Rinchen Lucho Tashi Sejina, Dunjung Bungsang Yung Kamala, Nyanga Dundang Dunsa Kabeu, Niu Jasen Wandu Kolote, Rinchen Tacho Teki Chaksen Chen, Chodu Jawa Chachin Kekema, Yekso Mo Jembe Babelwa, Tashi Ramo Gela Shaksalo, Samba Chumbo Tiju Semembo, Mikon Dandan Jabo Yugo Song, Pari Podam Luwa Mimiza, Nontu Tende Lanze Kolotam, Trishu Vadam Dundum Dorje Chen, Pima Raji Shuten Jansen Sen, Sasum Nesu Dere Tashi Bel, Jugde Jawa Dela Shansalo, Taja Dende Jawa Sambala, Kirtan Yora Sawa Kushine, Tudum Pepe Samdu Yishindu, Trashi Dele Kutsum Topara Shu. Yiki Nu Jam Tam, Pema Kesara Tombola, Yasen Choje Wenjunye, Pema June Shesudra, Kodu Kandro Mandego, Keki Jesu Tajungi, Chenje Lapshe Shepsu So, Guru Pema Siti Orgen Yiti Nujam Sam, Pema Kesa Tombola, Yasen Chotim Yudunye, Pema Jume Shesudra, Kodu Kandro Mandego, Keki Jesu Tajungi, Chenje Lapshire Shepsu So, Guru Pema Siddhi Orgen Yiji Nu Jam Sam, Pema Jesa Tombola, Yasen Choji Mejunye, Pema Jume Shesudra, Kodu Kandro Mandego, Yeki Jesu Tajungi, Chenje Lapshire Shepsu So, Guru Pema Siddhi.
The last 4 lines of the 7 branch offering third on page 11. Yowa Gula Denji Dewe Jir, Kalpa Jinji Dunye Shupayam, Dagi Damo Rajra Sawaji, Chaksa Wadan Chujin Sheparaji. Jesu Yiram Kuchin Sawai, Gewa Tumse Tagi Jisaba, Jamshe Tagi Jamchu Chuno, Sashi
So this afternoon, I think it is on our Yangsi Rinpoche to talk something on that, right?
Yes, yes, please.
I am just half asleep, half wake up, so I don't remember much. So, as somehow that this our world or this universe, as long as it is existing, then definitely there are, all these sentient beings, and who are wandering with the, all sorts of delusion and with the karmic, obscuration, based on their habitual tendency from beginningless lifetime. And then at the same time, there are all these, just Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that manifested in so many ways to, benefit and lead them to right path, that they could be also possibly liberate and actualize their primordial pure natures. So, so according to that, like 2,500 years before, according to this, eon, which is also known as the bright eon, then the great, or Supreme Nirmanakaya, the Shakyamuni Buddha, who just came on this earth with the specific purpose to, just benefit all sentient beings, based on his 12 different displays, and that how he, just manifest in form of a, just a prince, and then he, kind of almost like a pretend as a normal person, and then, just born and, grown up, and then, just study all the worldly necessary, just talents and so forth. And according to that normal, just life, and that got married and also just has a child, And then again, just kind of traveling around into the country and seeing the just suffering of sentient beings. Besides that, the human beings, specific suffering of birth, old age, sickness, and death, and that which just kind of indicate that in samsara there is suffering, that which more or less every single human beings or sentient beings goes through that kind of process of life. And according to that, then he kind of renunciated the world to find for the just path for liberation and enlightenment. And then according to that, he just ordained himself, and then he end up meeting with so many masters during those time and receiving all sorts of teachings and instructions, especially specific meditation instructions. According to that, continued to carry through his practice, especially the meditation for 6 years. Even later part of 6 years, not even eating and drinking, and then finally he gained some kind of insight into that nature. For to carry through practice, not necessarily one has to get into any kind of just extreme of like kind of so much of like a hardship, or not necessarily have to have very luxurious life to understand that it should be follow kind of like a middle path. And then after that, then just he got out of that meditation and then walked to Buddha Gaya, where in the just the Bodhi tree he meditate for his final meditation to attain complete enlightenment. And even though the it is a kind of like a interdependence kind of nature, when there is a just enlightenment and liberation, so forth, all these positive things happen. Then there is also the negative side, including like Mara, who want to kind of create obstacle and distraction and disturbance to Buddha's meditation. And however he tried, could not. So the Mara failed. And Buddha, based on his great loving kindness meditation and stability of his meditation into the absolute nature of phenomena, that nothing can kind of like create any kind of obstacle. So according to that, then just in the dawn, like early morning, then he attained complete enlightenment. Just experiencing and realizing the absolute true nature of the phenomena as the non-dual nature of emptiness and appearance, or non-dual nature of bliss and emptiness, or just emptiness non-dual with the awareness, that as the just primordial pure nature, just as it is. And as one have that direct perception of that absolute nature, knowing the kind of like a primordial pure nature, because of that, then all sorts of whatsoever it is called obscurations or afflictive emotions or negativities or karmas, that everything is instantly kind of like a purify or just pacified, because for instance, when one has some kind of confusion, doubt for certain things, And finally, when you know the truth, then all the confusion, doubts can be instantly just kind of like gone. So similar like that, when one just have the direct perception or the direct experience of that absolute nature of mind, that which is is the perfection of the Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya, all the three kayas, which is already there within just every single beings, kind of as their primordial nature or as their kind of pure nature, and that spontaneously just kind of like actualize with everything. And then according to that, just when one become like a completely enlightened, gain that the transcendental wisdom, which is known as the in one way two kinds of enlightened mind, which is called Chittawa Kembe Namken and Chinyava Kembe Namken. So Chittawa Kembe Namken means that the enlightened mind, that which knows just as it is, according to the absolute or pure nature of phenomena as emptiness nature. And then Chinyeva, the other, is the enlightened mind, that which knows the the numerous existence of phenomena, or the multiplicity of the existence of phenomena are just kind of clearly just known. So with this these two kind of enlightened mind also can be understood as number thamje can be ishi, means that transcendental wisdom, that which knows the every aspects of the nature of phenomena, of its kind of emptiness aspect and its kind of appearance aspect. So once one obtains that enlightened mind, then this whole universe, the whole existence of universe and the phenomena, and just with all sentient beings, including each and every momentary thoughts of just sentient beings, and the existence of phenomena and that enlightened mind just become like one. So there is no objects as phenomenal object, as sentient beings and so forth, and there is no subjective mind as an enlightened mind, that which is which perceives something. So that how become the universe is one's own enlightened mind, and one's own enlightened mind is that other than the kind of universe itself. So so then according to that, then Buddha knows what is going on in this world, and how and which way all these beings can be helped to be liberated from this suffering of samsara. So according to that, then as we know, Buddha has kind of taught, and from the very basic level, that based on that existence of this world and beings and its cause and condition, as which is known as the just the cause and effect of the samsara, and out of which, if anybody wish to liberate out of the cause and effect of samsara, that where there is, kind of just going through all sorts of, just levels of suffering, then Buddha taught the other two aspects of the Four Noble Truth teaching as the cause and effect of the, kind of nirvana. And that which is known as Four Noble Truth teachings, still it is more based on what is called provisional meanings, which means it is not the definite meaning. And just knowing that the truth of the Four Noble, kind of teaching, there is a great sense of, enlightening, beings, and according to that, whole bunch of them, kind of already liberated, just only hearing those teachings. Then later, Buddha's, kind of teaching gone much deeper and much more profound, based on what is called the definitive meanings, which means based on the absolute truth. So according to that, then Buddha taught on, the Prajna Paramita, that the Prajna Paramita Sutra, that in which also explains mainly two main topics. Again, one is profound meaning, which is the emptiness nature, and the other one is the vastness meaning, that which explains about the, just the paths to enter into for the, kind of actual liberation and enlightenment. And according to that path, then the stages of realization as, kind of bhumis, or the stages of, kind of their experience, that known as 10 bhumis. And according to that, the great, Indian masters, such as like Nagarjuna and then the Asanga, they have written all those commentaries to, just to study, to understand, and at the same time to explain about what is meant by, emptiness nature, and what is meant by vastness nature of, kind of like phenomena, and how that relates with the, one's own, kind of true nature of, mind. And based on that, then how, in India, in those days, then the, the Nalanda University, one of the greatest, Buddhist university, also towards the northern part of India, which is called the Bikarmashila University, also a very great, Buddhist universities. So within those, that there happen all these great scholars and great masters and great followers. However, that Buddhism just flourish all over, almost all over, just India, even though there is also the other, religion, which is, kind of Hinduism, which is, existing, even during that time. And out of those, then one of the, the head or the crown of the 500 Panditas or scholars of the Nalanda University, which is known as the, just Vimala Mitra, that who, just how knows like about 360 different languages. And then, of course, that based on the Buddhist philosophy and Buddhist studies, and plus the, sense of realization, just is equal to, kind of like a Buddha. Then that Bimala Mitra, then later in the 17th, I think in the 17th century, maybe later part of 17th century, then just manifested in form of like a just Penurumbache, that who is our first Penurumbache as one of the successor and throne holder within the kind of Pale monastery and Pale lineage. Then later, after that, Buddha taught on the Prajna Paramita. Then the third turning wheel of Dharma is based on the which is called all the definite meanings that mainly concentrated on the Buddha nature, the Tathagat Garb, the where every single sentient being has that potential to attain enlightenment if they follow the path, how to just purify that kind of delusion and to recognize one's own kind of primordial nature. Then anybody can be enlightened, anybody can be liberated, and that which also have very extensive explanation by Indian great master Asanga, out of which that he received those 5 major teachings from the Maitreya Bodhisattva or Maitreya Buddha, that which is known, one text which is known as Ud Tantra. So anyway, that Buddha just turned the 3 wheels of the Dharma teaching, that how in the past the just Kashyapa Buddha, before Shakyamuni Buddha's that came to exist, that taught that same teaching, and now in the future, after this Shakyamuni Buddha's teachings kind of decline and almost vanished from this our earth, from human realm, then again Maitreya Buddha is just going to happen, and Maitreya Buddha is also going to go through the similar process of like how Shakyamuni Buddha attained enlightenment, and then how he taught the 3 turning wheels of just Dharma. So all the past Buddha and present Buddha and future Buddhas are going to teach that same thing over and over and over and over. So I don't know why these Buddhas want to teach same thing over and over and over. It's not my problem, Somebody has to figure it out. And in one way, Buddha, enlightened being, so knows everything. They could teach something else, Why has to repeat that same teaching? So that must have some reason. So I have to find it out. So then, as our Holiness, then the second is known as Ringzin Baljin Juba, and then the third, our late Holiness, that Tuan Pemunubu Rinpoche, and that who came on this earth in 1930, I think 32, or and then from his yeah then from his childhood is great, compassionate and loving and very caring. And then just the while the monks and lamas and Kembos and Tugu in Tibet, that before this our this Tuampa Rinpoche late holiness, before he reincarnate, then asked to one great Dzogchen master known as Thupten Chö Dorje to find it out his reincarnation. And then according to that he just kind of wrote that the 4 lines that where he explained kind of the landscape, and then kind of house, and then the like a father and mother thapshe sonam ke ki minjin la, so which is said like a method and wisdom. And sonam is the father's name, and ki is the mother's name. And then Q Chudilawajung, that there is a baby known as the monkey water ear, just kind of born. Then when they get into Murshar, then saying this will be a great benefit for kind of like a countless beings based on the kind of Dharma teaching and so forth. So according to that, to confirm, then some of the those lamas, they went to see, which is the Kempo Ngagasang. Then just when he also checked, then he also wrote to different word but same meaning, kind of exactly in that way. And that is how the previous Tuon Penur Rinpoche that found his kind of incarnation. And then after recognition, then I think 4 or 5 years old, then brought to Pale Umain Monastery, and then just enthroned him as the previous Penur Rinpoche's reincarnation, and then gone through all those Dharma teaching, embodiments and academic studies, kind of educations and so forth. Then that way how he just kind of grown up in just Tibet, that which is known as kind of like a Penur Larang, means Penur Rinpoche's kind of like a once kind of like a like something like an office and retinues and kind of that section. That in the beginning nothing much, then during his time everything just kind of like become just prosperous and just well managed. And then without going through so much of detail about that, then of course then in 1950, maybe 59 somewhere, then Holiness left from kind of Tibet, and then in India first he came to a place called Balingpung, which is I think a kind of border to Bhutan and India. There just when we left from Tibet with my parents, and then we got into Paksa, and then we tried to just go out of Paksa because it was so hot. So then when we just took a bus and just tried to run away, then that bus went to Balingpung, where I met Holiness first time, but maybe 4, 5, maybe 5 or 6 years old. Then after Balingpung, then as requested to, Indian government for a better place, which is not too hot and where could to have some, that was it, some sort of, settlement, and then, just they sent Holiness and rest of all the Tibetan, kind of peoples that refugee camp in, South India, the Balakopi, Mysore, in the 1960s. So there, still without having anything, he tried to maintain what is called, kind of Tupchen. The every year, the first month of lunar calendar, which is considered to be, like a multiply million times whatever virtuous, meritorious activities one do. So then, just accumulating the Bhajar Guru mantra, or the alternatively then chant the Avalokiteshvara mantra, and then they go through like about a week time, just 24-hour kind of practice based on some specific kind of sadhana. For example, like kind of Rinzin Dupa, kind of practice with the just the Drupchen, that where one just kind of like a concentrate on that kind of practice, and there also lays a foundation. You even cannot go out of that kind of boundary, and within that you just carry through those practice, and in that way, even in the most difficult time, also try to propagate the Dharma and try to engage into Dharma practice, and try to kind of give all those teaching to those all Tibetan local kind of like people, and manage in that way. And then in 1963, fortunately that Indian government very kindly just offered him some land where that possible to build the just a temple, which is now existing as Tekchor Namdril Shetuk Targeling Namdriling Monastery, the mother monastery. So this Namdriling is baby monastery. So anyhow, and even that no any source and no any income, and not having anything in really in one's hand, but once you have that intention and motivation and the will to do something for the welfare and to benefit beings, then somehow, because of that power of the just positive motivation, and that the just will in which way that one wants to take care of this whole complete just Dharma teaching, not to be lost, or not to be kind of something like a deteriorate, somehow to maintain and to promulgate and to develop, through which that can bring the just not only liberation, but also for temporarily the just happiness and joy and so forth in anybody's life. So that way Holiness worked kind of like so hard and dedicated just his whole lifetime into kind of establishing this kind of temple. And after I think at least 15 years later, then he could to complete this temple, and that which is also built by kind of himself, and then other monks, and then maybe some Indian workers and the local, some of those Tibetan peoples, and then with his own hand just built that kind of like a temple. And then slowly it just got better and better. And in that way, in all those time, every year he tried to maintain this kind of tuition, the 24-hour kind of 24-hour 1 week kind of like a practice. And that is how just he dedicated into those kind of like practice. And then in 1980s, that one time Holiness could to go back to kind of like Tibet, and just meet with his many of his kind of great masters, and then many of those spiritual friends, including kind of monks and his students, local peoples, and in that way it has become very effective kind of like a journey, and through which when he come back, then he could possibly bring a whole bunch of kind of this Namche texts based on the Namche Ngando teaching, and then the this Zolung teachings, and then Dzogchen texture theoretical teachings. So more or less that whole cycle of the Namche, the that the Mingyur Dorje's revolution, that whole complete kind of set, as fortunately some of those kind of like the lamas, they just kind of could possibly preserved, so then handed over to him, so he brought back to India in a Mysore Namdaling. And from that then he started this retreat, which is 1 month retreat on like a Ngando and Zolung channels and the battle energy practice, and then the Dzogchen, the great perfection practice on like a texture, cutting through, and Tegel, the leap over, that the clear light practice, and that from 1980, then he continued that whole complete teaching, every year till just Holiness pass away, and then the rest of us still till today we maintain it, and that is also one of his great accomplishment, that how just that just beings kind of lead them into this kind of path, and somehow if oneself is really capable, then the enlightenment or liberation is even possible in one lifetime through those kind of like a practice. And then not only that, the whole complete just teachings and liberation was the revolutions of Karma Lingpa and Rana Lingpa and Longchen Yingtik, and of course the Namche, and also the which is called the the Kama, that within the Ningma there is Kama and Dharma, that is the Kama cycle of kind of teachings and part of those practices, and then the Dharma revolutions, including like the eight herukas, kind of like sadhana practices and so forth. Just somehow year by year, just this all just established in kind of Namdaling, that how it has been managed till now, almost like back into kind of Tibet, in those kind of like in the 17th century time, where that how those dharmas are kind of flourishing. So and then rest of, including like the all sorts of these kind of rituals, including, kind of Lama dance and so forth. As a monastery, what that used to need, whole bunch of, kind of instruments, and then, just all these, what's it, statues, kind of torments and so forth, all, everything, kind of little by little, kind of like accomplished. And then in the 1980, about 88, 85, then Holiness invited by, kind of outside, foreign students, and through which he traveled to, just Hong Kong, and also, kind of Taiwan and Singapore, and then to, just in the West, in America, and that, his first trip, and through which also, he could do, get some source of, like a finance that which can, continue to build his, kind of temple. And then in 1990, just 6 and 7, then, since there is a, the number of, kind of monks is every year, increasing, and then there is no enough, kind of like a hostel, including the temple itself become just, kind of too small. So then they started building this, kind of big temple in the 1996, 97, by those time, and then these days, which is known as, kind of Golden Temple, that which is accomplished in the 99. And then the part that one of his most important and what's the greatest wish is that how he want to have a shata, which means, academic study. So he tried to invite, just so many other, kind of learned campus from other place, and then somehow he could, kind of brought like a Kempo Tundu Rinpoche, and then Kempo Dase Rinpoche, and then Sakya Kempo, Rinchen, and so forth in the 1970, just 8. And then finally could establish this institution that this, which is known as now the Nganju Nyuma Institute, that which is, kind of flourishing, just all over, and that could, kind of develop the whole complete academic study. And when one time our Holiness invited His Holiness Dungui Chandra Rinpoche in 1980 for this whole complete cycle of, Karma teachings and empowerment. So at that time, then again had a big meeting about the whole complete syllabus of the, institute, that to be, kind of like kept in for 9-year course, the Sutra and Tantra, and then including the, kind of Dzogchen texts and so forth. That way we have, kind of that established the, course according to the very ancient traditions, that what it has been established in Tibet in those time when those, Pail, Kato, Shichen, Dzogchen, Minduling, those great mother monasteries, kind of started, in Tibet long time back, of all those, kind of like academic studies. So that which till now it has been very successful, and it helped a great deal all over, just India, Nepal, and Bhutan, Sikkim, that who were graduated from our institute, that could, kind of send those teachers to outside to start all those institutions and study and so forth. So then after that, Holiness built this Sandoperi, the copper color mountain, which has kind of like the 3 stories, and the main monastery, which was built in 1963. That main foundation, of course, it was kind of without any engineering, so it was built by those who have no any idea about kind of like architecture or anything. So it is walls are falling down. So he knocked down the whole complete that old temple, but then built on that same kind of spot with a very strong foundation, that main temple, and then above that built the 3-story of copper color mountain. The Guru Pamasam was kind of like a pure field, which on the top is kind of the Sambho, the Dharmakaya temple with the Amitabha Buddha, the middle the Sambhokaya Buddha field with the Avalokiteshvara statue, and then the lower one, the Nirmanakaya field, that with the Guru Padmasambhava. So as you have seen some of those pictures and so forth. So somehow in that way, kind of like our late Holiness has dedicated his whole complete life for the benefit of sentient beings and to flourish the Dharma teaching, and at the same time to preserve the whole complete the culture and tradition that what that has been kind of established in Tibet, and how those kind of like practices are done, and how these empowerments are given, and how these instructions are transmitted according to that kind of how all those beings possibly have all those liberation, including the our retreat center for 3 years 3 months kind of like a retreat. And then then also in 1997, then the nunnery, kind of nunnery temple, hostels, and also the hospital and so forth, whatsoever it is kind of relatively needed for all those monks and nuns, including kind of local people, just somehow become very kind of like a successful. And where Holiness lately, he used to say, "Oh, I have just done enough that what I really thought to do, and now this temple and just everything that just people appreciate for it, but he says I don't have any attachment at all, just built for just the benefit of all being. Now it is the responsible for the just our Dugus and Kambos and rest of all the kind of learned monks, just to maintain it, to continue, because that the elder ones just kind of pass away, then the younger generations kind of like comes back into life, and somehow that itself is still another kind of just cycle that which goes through. And then all these propagations of Dharma is also kind of like needed continuously from life to life, until just somehow all sentient beings may liberate it. So that is how kind of the our late Holiness he have accomplished. And then in 2009, that then by that time just he kind of like not feeling well, and of course he have kind of diabetes, which is also very kind of difficult in so many ways. And then in 2009, then finally after the that Nyingma Monam, the world peace prayer that which all the Nyingmas like Rinpoche Rinpoche, two gurus, Campbells, lamas, just monks, nuns, and lay practitioners and followers all gather in Buddha Gaya every year. More than 7,000-8,000 kind of people to do all those kind of the Manjushri Namasangit, that prayer as the aspects of the essence of Tantra, and then the king of the wishful feeling prayer that accumulating for kind of 10 days with the all sorts of top Gana Chakra puja offerings, and that also the moment Holiness became the supreme head of the Nyingma, then he never gave up attending the just Nyingma Molam every year. Even that 2009, he is even not feeling well, that he still just attend there, and everybody requested Rinpoche that just be back to monastery. Your health is not good, but he says this is important. This prayer is important. So until to the last minute of the prayer accomplished, he didn't leave, and then he left to South India, and then stay in hospital for kind of few days, and then after that got back to monastery, and then how more or less that where people think that this kind of I can see Rinpoche tomorrow or next year, and next year people think it's just the concept of more or less kind of like a permanent. So just to show and just to experience and just to realize what is impermanence is. Then according to that he passed away into parinirvana. And then of course that just we all just have to find it out, kind of his reincarnation. And because of that, then first we, kind of search it out. If Holiness, he himself has left any information where he might born, or how we should to recognize him, or what else we need to just kind of like do. But unfortunately, we could not find any kind of information. So part of that his just instruction that that he have just kind of like mentioned something that in Tibet, that when he used to stay in Tibet, and there is the like the Pale Namje Changjuk Chuling, that main monastery, and then there is another spot where he used to do kind of like some simple retreat. So he mentioned that that retreat area has to be kind of repaired. That place, I don't remember the name. So and that just he prepared specific offerings for like Chata Rinpoche and Totupchen Rinpoche. So based on that, we could just somehow manage to understand that we should request for the recognition of the reincarnation to Chata Rinpoche or Totu Rinpoche. Because somehow they are this very close to holiness, in the sense like Chata Rinpoche and our Rinpoche, that their previous teacher was kind of same teacher, so they are like a spiritual kind of friends. So based on that, then just head of the pale successor, that Holiness Kamakuchen Rinpoche, and then our non-living monastery Chakung Tugurumache and Musun Tugurumache, and then plus our three Kenjans like Kenjan Pemashara and Kenjan Namdul, and then myself. Somehow try to take the whole responsibility of the monastery, just how to just kind of run the continuation of the whole monastery and institution, and including the rest of administration, what Holiness has established, and what is kind of Holiness his wish is, according to that, how we could kind of continue to accomplish and manage, and even just hopefully to develop in a just better way. And out of all those, most important is to find his reincarnation. So then we prepared that specific letter to just offer to Chaturmache. And so according to that, after Holiness passed away in the second month of lunar calendar, then after 49 days of like performing grand puja and prayers and accumulations of kind of mantras and so forth, and then we went to Nepal to request Chaturmache to kindly find it out our Holiness reincarnation, and then he offered the letter, and then he is already 97 years old, Chaturmache, at that time. But so he somehow requested, as we requested, he accept. He said yes. So that was one of the kind of like greatest job, and what's the greatest wishful feeling. I mean, just he take the responsibility to recognize, so we don't have to worry about finding out the reincarnation. So then at the same time, we just requested to him that kindly advise us whatever that necessary just to do, all that pujas and prayers, or anything, even need to build something, like just give us the the advice or suggestion, kind of in every aspect. So according to that, every time when we visit him, or sometimes even kind of within 3-4 months time, then he just kind of gives us the instruction, or you need to perform this kind of puja and this prayers, and this need to be accumulated 100,000 times, and this need to be accumulated for few 100,000 times, and the Dhamma protectors kind of need to do lots and lots of them, and so forth for all those years till last year. Just we have been performing all those prayers and pujas, and also kind of try to maintain rest of the administration. And then every year, just some of us, we go to Nepal, and then again just remind him and request him, did you find it out, or what prayer puja we need to do more, and so forth. Then last year, this last year, 2013, then somewhere in maybe like maybe January, somewhere there, and then finally he just gave us a kind of like a letter, enclosed letter, and then that we kept it until like May 13th, because then May 13th, based on the our pale seniors most to Tupsan Rinpoche, and then of course Holiness Kamukuchen Rinpoche, that they also thought that we should do kind of cremation of our Holiness body. and so that we kind of like somehow got on an auspicious day of Sagatawa, the 15th, which just was May 13th. So then Tugutupsan Rinpoche and Kamakuchen Rinpoche and a few other kind of Tugus and the lamas from just Tibet also visit there, and then we also kind of prepare. Then I think maybe 8th or 9th of May, before the final cremation, then just the head of the Namduling kind of board members, then including with the Turutupsan Rinpoche, then we opened that kind of letter, just hoping that there is the recognition of our Holiness Reincarnation. So as we just open, then there he have mentioned the kind of like a place and then the area and kind of so forth. It is in Tibet, and that Tibet is that place is also kind of still little bit more kind of remote area, not in a kind of city or town or anything. Very kind of quiet kind of place, in which he has written that the place name called Tangla Thamuta, that kind of father and mother who are just kind of practitioners of that new treasure in that family, kind of the reincarnation is kind of like a born. And then later again, when Tupsan Rinpoche kind of completed his visit in our monastery, including whole bunch of important empowerments and some teaching. Then he traveled to Nepal, and then again requested to Chatur Rinpoche if still there is more specific. So at that time, then Chatur Rinpoche told that this incarnation is born in the dragon year. So dragon year. So then it became more clear, and then by that time she's already like kind of 2 years old. So based on that, then since it is born in Tibet, so Holiness Kuchen Rinpoche and then Tugutupsan Rinpoche and whole kind of Payul monastery in Tibet, that they just have more responsibility to kind of search for him, because we even just had to travel to kind of Tibet to even just to get kind of visa and so forth. So that way kind of they have been searching to that place where where Chatur Rinpoche has mentioned, and some of them very quietly just sent to that area just as a pilgrimage, and then go around and talk to families and visit there, and then just as a kind of very casual to look around where that the actual kind of reincarnation is born. So in that way they can just went through such and such, and then there is also like a whole story, just some places they those who went there for such, they also have very good dreams and also very good signs, and somehow some sorts of kind of like indications, and then they search for, I think July, August, September, at least 3-4 months, kind of really search thoroughly, and then finally they come to just conclusion to kind of this present kind of the child, which is to be recognized as our Holiness Reincarnation, based on that kind of instruction. that even just brought up some of kind of our late holiness substances that to be kind of recognized by just this child. And the I didn't hear rest of all those kind of detailed stories, but one thing what I heard is just when they get into this house, and then this just a child like sitting somewhere and then eating something, and when these who are just came there to look for him, and moment kind of he saw, he just kind of like raised his hand and just saying like this, come in, like that. And then they were, that also just kind of really surprised them, wow, just kind of like something, connection or recognition is happening. And when they went in, and they were just kind of not sure whether they should immediately do prostration or should not do, because they are just kind of searching. But if it is kind of like illness, they want to do prostration, but still not sure. So somehow they just walked in, and then what is this child eating something, instantly gave some piece to someone. So that also like Holiness have that habit of just always giving somebody some food or something. So and so forth, that whole complete sense of condition and all other aspects, that everything just come to some like a true sense of recognition, that without almost like a no doubt, oh, this is kind of like a just our holiness kind of incarnation. And at those kind of final times, and then of course I think this part I'm not exactly sure, but I'm thinking, assuming that the Tuktuksan Viche and then the Kamukujin Viche also just kind of finally went there, and then they make that kind of as a recognition offer kind of kada, the scrap. Then yeah, then last year, yeah, actually last year in December, after I went back to monastery in November, and I was there, and December 4th, then we received that letter from Holiness Kujanumbache, that saying now we got to finalize for the recognition of His Holiness Penurumbache's reincarnation, that now we are going to do this enthronement in July 31st, which is the Tupatishi, means like a 6th of lunar calendar, 6th month lunar calendar, 4th day, which is also the just auspicious day of how Buddha has done the will of Dharma and so many those Dharma activities. So in that way we received that letter, and by that time then somehow that news has already spread out from Tibet. Then like now all these iPhones or iPads or all this, they have kind of like messages, and other thing is kind of like in Asia the WeChat is very, very common, and just instantly they send kind of like messages and then pictures kind of like that. And before that the non-ruling officially announced about the recognition of our holiness, that they received so many of those in WeChat, including holiness picture, and then kind of some information, and everywhere in Taiwan, Hong Kong, and those areas, including some of our monasteries, just everywhere. And kind of like some are just kind of like excited, some are confused, some are thinking this is real or not, what is going on. Then they send to each other and then checking, did you know this, did you hear this, and it has been going round. Then in the December 5th, then our kind of numbering officers that they came to me, and because at that time our both Tukus and other two Kenjans were not there, just so then they asked me, I think maybe this letter, do we need to kind of like announce in our Payul website? So then I said, no, this is already just kind of finalized, and this is finalized kind of letter, and then that was in Tibetan, so now we just translate in English, and possible even in Chinese, and then we should kind of like declare and put into kind of website, Namdeling website, and they just put it out. And when that just kind of sent it out, of course then everybody just kind of like knew. And so later, what I heard from many of other kind of Campbells and other students just saying, oh, that announcement kind of relieved everything, because it proved that it is. Because another one, some like kind of sent one another picture and some information, which is kind of like they didn't do it on purpose, but accidentally something happened. So some people, whoever received that also started sending kind of that widget to here and there. So they have for almost like a 24 hours kind of confusion little bit. So after that, when we kind of announced that we found that holiness with the kind of our holiness and the reincarnation, that picture. You don't have here? Yeah.
This one?
No, that there is kind of two together.
Two together, these were together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like
That is holiness and that is reincarnation, two together. So then we sent it out with that kind of like a photo into website, and then everybody just got like of course so excited and happy, and moreover we all are just really relieved, because like for a while we have full confidence that Holiness Chadar Rinpoche will not pass away, and before he recognized our reincarnation. But still somehow just kind of like once in a while just feel kind of like worried, oh, what happens if he just kind of, because he's already old. If Chadar Rinpoche pass away and didn't recognize our reincarnation, what we are going to do? Just kind of like once in a while some sorts of kind of thoughts just kind of like comes. So after that recognition, that whole complete kind of like worries and just so forth, everything just kind of like pacified and really got relieved. And besides that how that Chadar Rinpoche has recognized in such a way that where there is no tiniest bit of doubt about that this is not kind of our holiness reincarnation. It is in such a way that based on what holiness has been kind of talking before, certain things and everything just somehow kind of resonate. Then even Chadar Rinpoche, he himself also kind of said, oh, now I have done my responsibility. Just I also relieved from this big burden, to recognize reincarnation. And then also Chadar Rinpoche said, I have done the first recognition of reincarnation. and even just at that time she's now at that time is 101 years old, and I'm just old, but then he said, I will still just live few more years, So that what just kind of like just proves that when one engage into these kind of serious dharma practices, then you transcend birth and death. You become just completely independent of your life. That whether you want to live or kind of die is almost like in one's kind of hand through all those kind of realization. So that just kind of like the what's it, as a just sign of having that enlightened kind of realization in one's kind of being, like how Chaturambunche kind of like expressed that way. And now he's also he's also very excited about the incarnation. Every time anybody kind of like he just asks, oh, how kind of the Yangsi Rinpoche is doing, how he is doing. So it is just a kind of like a great pleasure for kind of like everybody that all kind of holiness disciples all over the world just kind of like relieved, and many elder peoples, many elder kind of Tibetans, they were also just thinking, oh, before I die maybe I could kind of see him one time, So almost everybody's wishes kind of like fulfilled. So that is how this Yangsi Rinpoche kind of recognized, and somehow it was really just fulfilling the wishes of everybody, which is part of that kind of recognition itself. And because this modern world, people just kind of have so many different concepts and different thoughts, and even just kind of different ways to kind of believe certain things, even just being kind of recognized. Sometimes people still doubt, but for this, that almost just everybody, like as I travel around, just in like Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, even Bhutan, and then of course like in India and many places, that whoever I met, including our many of Kembutus who are in Taiwan or just Hong Kong, that just everybody is kind of so satisfied that just the recognition was so clear and so profound and so effective in so many ways that just nobody has tiniest kind of doubt. Otherwise, like as we know, like just many other just kind of like incarnations, sometimes there are 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, sometimes some say this one is one, not this one, and just however it is been recognized, but still confusion. But for our kind of Yangsi Rinpoche, that whether it is within Nyingma or outside Nyingma, any other schools, including all these kind of great masters, or even just for a kind of small monk or a kind of ordinary people, that nobody has any kind of doubt that how it has been just kind of recognized. So that was kind of really very amazing. And then part of after recognition, then as just we also have to report to kind of His Holiness Dalai Lama as the spiritual head of, kind of like a Tibetan. Then I think, in December 8th and 9th. After we announced, then our one Kempo, who is the Chitu, means the Republic of representative of Assembly of Tibetan, Assembly of People's Republic, the Nyingma's Republic representative, in Dharamsala. So he called me and said, now our incarnation is found, we need to just better to report to Holiness Dalai Lama. So then in that way I just talked with both Tugu and Kembos, and then I with the another Kembo have to travel from Mysore to kind of Delhi. At that time Dalai Lama is in Delhi. So just went there, make an appointment, and then visit him. He was so kind of just joyful, and then with the kind of like photo we just offered to him, and he said, "Oh, very good, very good." Then he said, that the mind stream, even the mind stream is the kind of holiness mind, but now this body is kind of new, so now we have to take care of him to get all education of the whole complete Dharma teaching, and all the instructions and embodiments and learning and reading and writing and so forth, have to kind of give the whole complete kind of training. So in that way he also kind of like happy. So anywhere just everybody is like really satisfied with this kind of like reincarnation. So then now July 31st, then our Yangsi Rinpoche going to invite to Payul main mother monastery, and then going to have that kind of enthronement, kind of ceremony. So that all over the kind of world, the students were kind of dedicating for this kind of like a prayer to be successful. And from Namduling monastery, that whoever we could get just visa to travel there to kind of attend that enthronement ceremony, and where we are just hoping to kind of do the kind of best level of kind of ceremony, that because this is the kind of the first time of our Yangsi Rinpoche's kind of enthronement ceremony. So try to do everything very auspicious and in a best way, and whatever that kind of like a performance that could be something very kind of effective, and that he could have a long life, and just all his activities for to benefit sentient being and to flourish in Dharma may kind of just become very successful, even more successful than kind of like our late holiness kind of activity. And in that way just kind of like to do a grand, kind of like ceremony, including all those, kind of pujas and prayers. Because of that, then as you heard, the Namdaling also thought maybe this is, something very special, and first ceremony that maybe just try to invoke the all, his, kind of student, disciple, including, whoever has, connection with our, kind of Yangsi Rinpoche, may just participate with the whatsoever, even they could not travel, but through their, contribution, just may, kind of bring that, connection with the, kind of Yangsi Rinpoche, the, kind of ceremony, so that hopefully, just in the future, he will, as he grown up and educated, then like, kind of before, he will also, travel around all the, just all the Dharma centers and all around the world to just, kind of benefit, all beings through his, enlightening speech and, kind of teaching. So that what it is about, kind of Yangsi Rinpoche, and then more detail and more specifics maybe will just come out after the enthronement. So then stop here. Okay, then we do short dedication. Oh yeah, thank you.